Hey guys, welcome back. So today I want to talk to you all about some of my favorite drugstore bronzers. It was fairly recently when I discovered a new bronzer, and then I kind of started thinking about all the bronzers that were my favorite, and the majority of them are from the drugstore. Even though I do have some high-end ones that I like, I definitely find myself gravitating more toward the drugstore ones. So for anyone out there who's looking for any drugstore bronzers and who just want some recommendations, just keep watching and we're going to get into them. Some of them are fairly new to the drugstore, and then some of them have been out for a while. And for one of them, I am going to give you an alternative because I don't believe it's even available anymore. So let's jump right into it. First and foremost, I want to talk about the Maybelline City bronzer and contour powder, and I have mine in 200. And let's open this up right here. This is what it looks like inside. It almost looks like it is going to be entirely too cool tone when you see it. The first time I saw it, I was thinking to myself, this is just going to be a straight up contour color. Like, there's no way I'm going to put that on and get that to be a bronzer. But that's a terrible swatch because you can't really see much of anything. But the truth is that once you get it on your face, it does warm up where it needs to warm up, and then as a contour it does well as a contour too. Now, for anybody who has seen my channel before and has heard me mention, I do like to just use whatever bronzer I'm using for the day as a contour as well. Today I only used it as the contour. I used something else for the rest of my face, and we'll get to that later, but I just, I was a little skeptical about it, and I tried it and I ended up falling in love with it. It looks completely matte, but when you get up close to it, there is, and I mean almost microscopic sheer specks in it. Extremely microscopic, but enough so that when you put it on, your face doesn't look dry or anything where it is. It actually has like, not a sheen to it, I don't want to say that, but almost like light reflecting particles. So your face always looks fresh and dewy, and you don't ever look too dry because it's completely matte. And I love that about it, because until you get up close to it, you don't even realize that that's what's in there, but it is, and I love it. Moving on to the next one is the Milani Sunkissed Silky Matte Bronzing Powder. There we go. Now this one again is another one that I thought was going to be a little too cool to double as a bronzer. I thought it was just going to be strictly contour, but again, they call it a double, so I wanted to give it a shot. And this is what it looks like. See, a little more cocoa. Looks very, very cool in the swatch. And put that next to the other one. You see that? So I was like, there's no way on earth this is gonna double as a bronzer, but lo and behold, it does. And this is so freaking soft on the skin. They're all soft, but there's something about this, like calling it silky matte, there's something about it that just, I don't know, like whispers across the skin. Is that a good explanation for it? But it is beautiful. It is incredibly soft on the skin. This one is 100% totally matte, but there's nothing dry looking about it. There's nothing that makes your skin look like it's like dehydrated and like you need moisture. It still sits beautifully on the skin, and once you put a setting spray, it melts into the skin and it looks incredibly beautiful. I love this one a lot too. I've been finding myself kind of like reaching or mixing and matching for these because they're all just so beautiful in the formulas. Next up, one of my favorites is the Wet n Wild Bronze Dynasty. I don't know that, oh, I totally just broke the lid. Okay, saved by the tape. I don't know that this is available anymore because this was part of the special edition set that they put out for Fire and Ice. But this became a super favorite of mine, as we can see from hitting pan. But I did find in one of their new releases a very close match to that, if not almost exact, and it's called Sunset Strip Tease. Not matte at all. There is a, you'll see in a second, and the swatch. Will the swatch be good enough? I'm going to have to do close-up swatches so you guys can see. So there is a subtle, very subtle kind of sheen to it. So it doesn't make your bronzer look sparkly or anything like that, but there is a subtle sheen to it so that when the light hits it, you can see that, you know, you look a little glowy there. You don't look too dry or anything, because that's never what I want from my bronzers. I like a dewy skin look. I already have dry skin, so I want to look fresh faced, I want to look dewy, and I don't want any of the powders that are on my skin to look dry or cling to any dry patches or like that or anything like that. And I prefer powder products to cream products. I've tried cream products and there's yet to be any that I completely love. So all of these powder products, I love the fact that they give some luminosity to the skin, they give some kind of sheen to the skin, they, you know, light reflection to the skin, something that always makes it look beautiful and healthy. So moving on to the next one is pretty much everybody's favorite, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Same deal as the rest of them. It's not 100% matte. There is a soft, very soft, subtle sheen to it. It looks absolutely gorgeous, and this one I have in just the original bronzer one. I also have a slightly darker one for the summertime, but I do love it for most of the reasons that I love all the other ones. And then last but not least, this is kind of, let's say, more of an honorable mention because I very recently got this one 2 weeks ago, a week ago, very fairly recently. So I don't want to 100%, you know, fave yet because I haven't had it long enough to just claim it's a fave, but definitely honorable mention. It's what I'm wearing now on the rest of my face, and this is the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Luminous Bronzer. Here it goes. All of these have the same effect of looking very gray toned in the pans, but then as soon as you get them on your face, they look beautiful. This one here in particular ended up what? I just lost everything for a second there. So this one in particular ended up becoming so much warmer on the skin than it looks in the pan. As I've said for quite a few of them already, they looked much more cool tone in the pan. So did this one. However, unlike the others, which sort of maintained a sort of cool undertone, even though they still could very well double as bronzers and contours perfectly fine, I felt like this one out of all of them became the warmest once I had it brushed over my skin. So here you can see it over my forehead and temples. And then I have the Maybelline City bronzer as the contour in the cheeks, which I have blush on, so it's kind of hard to tell what's what. But I feel like the City bronzer maintains more of a coolness to the undertone, even though it does work well as both bronzer contour. But this one here, I definitely feel like warmed up a lot more. Now I have this one in Sunrise L1. Just for reference, in case you go looking for it. It says it gives you sun-kissed skin and a luminous finish. I agree 100%. As with all of these, there's never a time where you look or feel dry. Definitely always luminous skin, always look glowy, always look fresh face, always look healthy. This is definitely a formula that the other ones, I feel like I could pull off the Maybelline City Bronzer and Milani Winter or Summer. Probably geared a little more toward winter because of a little bit of cooler undertone, but the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, the Wet n Wild ones, and this one I would feel could be used at either time, but a little more geared towards spring summer. But this was definitely a surprising one because of the color tone that ends up coming out of here when it looks so light and so cool toned, and you even have to kind of be light-handed with it because it doesn't even look that intimidating, but you can get kind of carried away. So that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of the video. If you have any specific questions about any of the bronzers that I mentioned here, please feel free to, okay. Please feel free to ask them down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. If you haven't already, please comment, rate, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. You all have an amazing rest of the weekend wherever you are, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.